Welcome back, everybody, for the final round here at FNM tonight on Nerd Rage Gaming Live. I'm your host, Andrew Donnelly. With me, as always, my co-host
is no chin, Matthew Robert Dow.
Matthew Robert Dow. We're going to get into our final match here. We've got Shane Rigsby playing Marduk Control up against undefeated Noah Cohen with his Abzan aggro list that we saw last round. So, what do you like in this matchup here, Matt?
I actually kind of like Shane's deck in this matchup, to be fair.
Yeah?
I think the only card that's kind of really a bother for Shane is Rakshasa Death Dealer.
Okay.
In that, just kind of it regenerates. So Shane's only really good removal spell for it, past turn 2 or turn 3 would be Crackling Doom.
Okay.
So, but other than that, Shane's deck's got like a lot of removal. He's got some sweet Planeswalkers and Elspeth and Sorens. I mean, I like Shane's deck actually. He's playing some End Hostilities.
He does.
Which lines up pretty well against Noah. Like I said, though, Rakshasa Death Dealer and a monstrous Fleeceman land could be trouble for Shane if it gets there. So
it's definitely last time we saw it on camera, it seemed like a powerful deck. It just seemed Shane didn't really have the matchups he was looking for. I think you're right in saying that this is the matchup that Shane was, in fact, looking for all those times.
Definitely.
This is the deck that he wants to kind of go up against. Cards to play. All his Planeswalkers can almost go unanswered.
Right.
By a lot of Noah's
this
cards.
sort of like the devotion decks is what Shane wants to play.
Yes, yeah, very much so.
If you've ever been to Nerd Rage Gaming, there are usually a lot of green decks.
There was a time when there were a lot of mono green devotion decks. I seem to remember you not having a good time with them.
No.
I never played them personally.
Like I said, they make me want to vomit.
Yeah.
Or rage and tell people to get out.
Yes, that is,
one or the other.
One of the two. So it looks like both players are drawing their 7 here. Let's see.
So Shane has looks like once again, lands and spells. It's hard to really tell.
I saw an Sultai Charm, or I'm sorry, an Abzan Charm, an Anafenza in Noah's hand, but he's going to ship it away.
It didn't look like he had any lands there.
Nothing that he wanted to keep, at least. It's interesting. Noah's sitting at 4-0. We didn't have him on a feature match earlier, so, I mean, well, the one before this he was on, but in the earlier rounds, not really sure what he had to play against with the Abzan aggro list.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, there's always a lot of green decks at these events. So I just play the green mirror.
Yeah.
Just play the Abzan aggro mirror a million times. Although not many people play that deck. People like their devotion, mid-rangey, weird.
Yeah.
Decks that just don't do it for me.
Just to note that Noah's also on the Pro Tour.
Yeah, he is.
Made it on the Pro Tour.
Coming up here in a couple of weeks. So
should be pretty sweet.
Hopefully we get test some. Well, not so much modern because that format kind of stinks. We get to just slam drafts over and over and over.
Draft and draft
Sign
and
me
draft.
up.
Let's do it.
So Noah, I think, has a 1-lander here, but I think he's on the draw and he has multiple 2-drops. I don't know if it's going to get our 5s are going to get any better. I think they are, especially because we had like a 5-drop, so essentially are on a mulligan to 5 anyways with a 1-lander.
When you see that wingmate rock, you just don't want to keep it.
Especially with a 1-lander, I think we're just already on a mulligan to 5, and that's not like that's not like a good 5.
I wouldn't. I have to agree. I don't think I'd stay with that either. Because he does have the potential to lead with a hand with even a few lands and maybe a Thoughtseize and possibly an Anafenza or.
Yeah, we just have better 5s. And
right.
This is a better 5. Although I think he still only has 1 land. I think he has Siege Rhino, 2 Fleeceman lands, Downfall, and a Sandstep Citadel. All right, so Noah's on the play then. I can't tell if that is that's a Siege Rhino. So Noah's still on a 1-lander.
Yes.
I might even just mulligan this. It depends. If
we're
on the draw, once again, we got a 1-lander and we have a Siege Rhino.
Yeah.
We start to get into, are we already at 4 cards, and are there better 4 cards than this?
That's true. Do you end up just wanting to ditch a card?
Yeah, and like even and Hero's Downfall, kind of essentially against Shane's deck is once again a mulligan. Yeah. I don't know if Noah's scouted at all and figured out what Shane's on, but so he's gonna keep on the play. Isn't gonna probably wind up go very well for him. He drew a Death Dealer. Okay, so he has Fleeceman Lion, Death Dealer, Abzan Charm, Downfall, and Siege Rhino. Shane playing another Temple of Silence here to Scry. He's going to keep it on top. Noah does hit his second land there. And, I mean, Shane's deck is slow enough that Noah's just not going to die out of nowhere. So he might be able to get back into this.
It also puts him, though, in a really bad spot if he decides to run out a lot of the 2-drops he has in his hand, because he can easily walk in and end hostilities.
Yeah, well, he's going to get crackling doomed here. But I think we're fine with that.
Noah will drop to 17 after the Doom.
Yep.
And then the Fleeceman's gone.
But he still could play the follow-up with the Death Dealer.
Sure.
Which isn't an awful follow-up. I think, actually, if he draws a land here, he's probably just going to try to Abzan Charm. Alright, so he's going to play a Death Dealer. So Abzan Charm does allow us to unmulligan ourselves, which is really nice. And like I said, this is actually a pretty decent card against Shane.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Although Utter End kind of puts an end to that. But I think Shane's just going to Magma Jet this here.
Boy.
Yeah.
Shane with a hand of nothing but answers, apparently.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's all his deck really is.
It is,
so
yeah.
It's answers and then, like, a couple finishers and a couple of planes.
If you remember, what else does he have 4 of in there? He's got 4 of Storm Breaths.
He does? Oh, yeah, I forgot about those.
the four of Dragons coming out of nowhere.
All right, so Noah going to run out. I don't know if I really like that from Noah. I kind of like just sitting back and drawing cards. Shane's not really doing anything, although of note, or even just, like, holding up Abzan Charm, because we're about... This is going to die.
Jeez.
And then, yeah. So
I mean,
I kind of like just holding up Abzan Charm, trying to get
value off of it.
Get a couple more cards. If Shane does play like a Sarkhan, maybe we just can exile the Sarkhan. But he knows he's going to draw another land and cast a Siege Rhino, which that card is good. So, but Shane has End Hostilities and Sarkhan and a couple more lands in hand. So Shane's starting to run out of gas. Although he drew another Planeswalker, which. Planeswalkers are just gas.
I have to imagine, and maybe I wouldn't have taken this line, but if I'm Shane, do I leave the Rakshasa out there, watch Noah run the Siege Rhino out, and then end hostilities? Oh, well, I guess he had the other end. I forgot about the other end. So the other end definitely solves that riddle.
Yeah, the risk is like if you let the guy untap with if you let Noah untap with the Rakshasa Death Dealer, is he even going to start committing any more threats to the board? Because he has the Abzan Charm, so he can play a little bit on your turn. I don't think that's the greatest line.
Sure.
Just because I think that's what he's going to wind up doing. And if you let it untap, like that card is such a problem for you.
Yes.
Although, if with the Utter End in hand, I might have done it because it's less of a problem now that I can get around to being able to regenerate.
I was just wondering if he was frustrated with the fact that all of his threats had been removed at that point, and maybe he would overcommit to the board.
So Shane going to play a Sarkhan here. He fetched first, which is kind of. I guess he needed a. Okay, so Shane needed another mountain, and then Noah's going to downfall it before it becomes indestructible. So, which is pretty good for Noah.
Now, unfortunately, we've got the Fleecemane.
Fleecemane land. Noah has Abzan Charm still up. Shane, I think, has a land, so he's got a couple of lands in his hand and an End Hostilities, I believe. So he's going to cast End Hostility. Oh, he's going to cast
Sarkhan.
So I imagine
and you just shoot the lion, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Boy.
I think Noah has to... I don't know. It's tough here. I kind of just like exiling that guy, to be quite honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. We have one card in our hand. If we draw a blank here, we're pretty dead.
He does have the ability to sign and blood himself with the Abzan Charm.
Right, yeah. So, like, if we did that, we would have just drawn a blank.
Sure.
Here, at least, we can get rid of his Sarkhan and then hope he has nothing, which he really doesn't have much.
Right.
Besides
Soren,
that. Yeah. Soren, pretty good.
So now...
Soren is actually really good here. I feel like if Shane pluses, we have to fetch and I think just draw cards. I think we have to draw cards here because we have to pressure Soren, or else we're just going to get completely taken out of the game once it ultimates in 2 turns. So now we're going to fetch up a basic, and then I assume he's going to draw cards here, and then probably he's going to exile.
He chooses to exile. Did he make his choice?
So he chooses to exile.
Okay.
Right. Okay. He's going to draw for his turn. He really needs a threat and a Fensa. That's a threat. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to work out how Noah wants it to, because Shane has End Hostilities, and he can just set it up so he
I'll End Hostilities,
and then
Sure.
Not even make a token. I plus End Hostilities plus, and then be like, okay, you need a way to kill this Soren next turn.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Or you just never win the game. You can't come back.
Yeah.
I guess he could draw Elspeth, which
lets him come back.
Which is actually like
sure. It's a way out.
But I don't make his. I try to close him out here. Shane's gonna make a
token,
which is probably the safer play in case Noah draws like a downfall or something. But
he's probably just trying to at least recruit some sort of pressure on the board because Shane has it well.
So like, I mean, this is a situation where if we made the emblem, that's the dead creature. Granted, we don't have much gas in our hand, which I think is kind of the reason Shane probably went with the 2/2.
Yeah. Looking for the token for the vampire, which is...
We have a grizzly bear.
It is, in fact, a rare token, so we got that going on now.
Where's those Tom Ross tokens? You guys had a stack of those.
We do. We do have the Tom Ross tokens. Tom Ross token have lifelink?
Who knows?
All right, there's the tokens. We got the token pile back. Somebody had
Shane going to cast a Stormbreath Dragon.
That seems relevant.
A good card against Santa Fe.
Yep. So there's the...
Shane
doesn't want to keep it back.
I don't care. He's going to attack in for 8 and gain 8, go to 24. Noah going to go down to 10.
Jeez, 24. What a good attack. He must have just drawn the Stormbreath, because I think he's been holding the other card in his hand for a while now. Yeah. There goes...
Soren is dead.
No, I don't know if I'm 100% okay with that. I might have left the Stormbreath Dragon back.
No, because you could just, like, monstrous him and kill him.
Another end hostilities? And
or you just have another Soren.
Wow.
And it just doesn't even matter.
Yeah, that's fine.
Although, I guess, if we monstrous, I think we just kill him. This doesn't kill him.
This does a lot of damage.
No,
does not kill him. Your Stormbreath Dragon instead.
Playing monstrous in him would have been awful. Would have been just wretched for me.
Yeah, not good.
So
Noah down to 7, Shane up to 27. Holy cow.
Of note, this Soren is at 5 loyalty, now at 1 loyalty. So
still threatening, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, Noah's still actually in this game. If he can find a way to kill his vampire...
Noah drops to 4 after the attack.
If he kills this vampire, he's still pretty in it. Gonna kill Soren here. He's got 2 lands, so he really needs to find a way to get rid of the vampire. We've got a bunch of guys drawing lands here. Shane, though, drew one that actually does something. He scries and kept it on top, so I can't imagine Noah's going to win this game here.
There's a Death Dealer.
Yeah, drew a Death Dealer. No way to answer the
flying
vampire. So I think Shane, if he turns his card sideways, I think he kept a Hero's Downfall on top. Yep.
Yo, there it is.
So Shane Rigsby and Mardu Control takes this game 1-0 on a mulligan to 5 for Noah.
And that's kind of the goes back to what we were talking about. This is the matchup that Shane's been playing for. This is kind of the deck that he wants to prey on with this Mardu Control list.
Yeah.
And not to mention, Noah did have the mulligan, and Shane had just nothing but answers in his hand. It seemed like. I mean, every
that's what
card
is. But Shane drew a lot of lands there too.
He did at the end. Yes.
He was in, not the greatest of shape. If Noah found an answer to the vampire. So
what do we got? Is that Shane's sideboard?
So moving on to Shane's sideboard, he has 4 Glare of Heresies, a Whip of Erebos, 2 Anger of the Gods, 2 Banishing Lights, 3 Thought Seizes, 1 Erebos God of the Dead, and 2 Tormod Scripts. So I really like Glare of Heresy here. Yep. 4 Glare of Heresy in the sideboard for Shane. Bringing all of those in. I'd probably bring in the Banishing Lights, just more answers.
Yep.
Consideration and Anger of the Gods. Don't think I'd probably bring it in. It only reliably kills Fleeceman land, so I don't think I'm going to bring that one in. But I am going to bring in the Banishing Lights. I think they're good. They're a good answer to Rakshasa Death Dealer.
Yep.
The Whip, I don't even know ice in the sideboard. Shane, take it out. If you watch this...
please take it out.
Please
you have 4 creatures.
You have 4 creatures.
You
Come on, man.
take it out.
Take it out.
What are you whipping back?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think we discussed this last time, because last time he ended up sideboarding in like Erebos and... Yeah. And I don't even know, Erebos might actually be decent this time around, only because Noah has the ability to gain life off certain cards, but even then it's so narrow that, I mean, it's definitely weird. Noah's sideboard kind of remains the same. Same thing we saw last round, the 3 Drowned in Sorrows, 1 Dune Blast, 2 Thoughtseize, the Reclamation Sage, the Ajani Mentor of Heroes, 3 Glare Heresies, which seem really good now, and then the Hunt the Hunter.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. What you bring in the Thought Seizes? You bring in the Dune Blasts?
No, he's got what? 4 creatures?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
you bring in the Johnnies and the Thought Seizes, probably.
We saw Noah side in the Johnnies already on camera.
Game 3, if you see, like... well, I don't know. You might bring in Reclamation Sage, too. I might have bring that in. We didn't see any Chain to the Rocks, and I don't know if Shane is playing them.
Sure.
But if you see them in Game 2, along with Banishing Light, I bring in the Reclamation.
You want to try to bring it in?
Yeah. I actually probably in the dark would bring them in here, because if you're playing Mardu, if you're not playing Chain to the Rocks, what are you doing?
That's true.
The card is nuts.
It is really
Swords
good.
and Plowshares.
You might as well play it.
Might as well if you're in those colors. If you got red and white in your deck, might as well be playing Swords and Plowshares.
I agree that the Whip of Erebos probably needs to come out of that sideboard.
Yeah, and if I see it in this matchup, I might just fall out of my chair and lose it.
Yeah, if he sides it in.
Yeah.
It's jeez, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine in what situation bringing that in is really good. You have 4 creatures.
The one where you get really lucky?
Yeah, 4.
It's the one where you get lucky.
Maybe? I'm not... Okay, well, they're checking their opening hands. Shane's going to show Noah...
Shane's going to show him that he had 7 lands, and that's not a hand he would keep.
Boy, I don't know. The shuffle has to probably be pretty good here, Shane.
So Noah kept his 7. I think Noah's on the...
Noah's on the play.
Right. Noah's on the play. He's on the BBD Joe Lissette disgusting white border lands thing now.
Boy, is that a thing?
I think so.
Noah
spent too much time around Joe Lissette.
That's true. He probably did. He probably spent a little bit too much time around Joe Lissette. If that's the only thing... Well, then again, if that's the only thing he picked up from Joe Lissette, I'd be worried.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to me that Noah has these disgusting white bordered, lands in his deck, and then his legacy deck is as pimped out as it can be.
Foreign black border duels.
Right. Here's my Judge Foil Force of Wills. No biggie. So Shane get a mulligan again. Here we go. Got some really interesting games here. We got 2 mulligans to 5.
What do you think Shane's seeing that? Well, besides the 7 land.
There he had 7 land, and then the other hand he had just no lands.
Just not stuff. Yeah. Is white bordered land really a thing now?
I think it's a thing.
That does not make me happy.
It does make me happy.
I use very specific basic lands in a lot of my decks. None of them are white bordered.
No.
A lot of them are either foreign, if in the case of my legacy MPS lands, and then the other ones are specific artwork.
Shane is going to keep.
Has he drawn his hand?
Yeah.
Did he decide to keep before he drew all of his cards?
He drew 5. He did bring in the Anger of the Gods.
Okay.
So he's got Stormbreath Dragon in his hand and at least 1 copy of Anger of the Gods, maybe 2, and Elspeth, and I think another land.
Okay.
So not a great one.
But it's decent against Noah's early game, at least.
Yeah.
Lane War Ways, Rakshasa.
Not that great against that card, though.
Not at all.
Depending on if Noah chooses to play around it.
Very true.
So.
What does he want to see? Get you for 2?
Yeah. I wonder, if Noah runs out this Fleetsman line here. He's going to play an Anafenza, which is a good line.
Yep.
If you want to just 1-for-1 with the Rakshasa, that's fine. So, Shane drew another Anger of the Gods, but no 3rd land, so it looks like this one's probably going to be over pretty quickly.
Yeah.
As we can see, Noah brought in the Ajani's, so Noah's going to attack with his team, trigger Anafenza, put a counter on Rakshasa Death Dealer, and pump the Death Dealer. So he's going to attack for 9.
Dropping Shane down to 9.
And he's going to put Shane on a 2-turn clock. So that was a turn 5 kill.
Yep, he is dead.
Seems pretty good.
Wow. So now the tables have turned, and we've seen the fact. I don't know if that is necessarily showing exactly what Shane's deck can do. Game 1 was very different, but
if Shane's deck is predicated on doing nothing, then that is what Shane's deck can do.
Yes, I do not think that's the case. I believe that was probably a very good show of why Noah's deck is considered an aggro deck and not a mid-range deck, because I played a 2-drop threat, I played a 3-drop threat, and you were dead.
Correct.
Yeah. Very quick game that time. Yeah. Holy cow.
So is this the game where both players mulligan to 4, and then...
I hope not. I mean...
You want to see an actual game of Magic instead of just a whooping?
I also hope that Shane takes the time to decide to keep a hand after he's drawn all of his cards. I'm gonna go back when I kind of go through these and edit them up for YouTube, and I'm gonna take a look there because I'm pretty sure he nodded his head as he was still drawing cards.
Yeah, but some people get on tilt when they're like, oh, I mulligan to 5, and then they're just of the mindset that any 5 hand I have, I'm just gonna keep anyways in the dark. Like they just could lay their hand down and be like, I'm keeping it.
Understandably.
Which. No, it's not understandable. There are 4-card hands that could have won that game. Probably not that game, but there are 4-card hands that can win games. I've won games on a mold of 4.
I should say, not understandably. I agree with you. That statement is very true. So we'll see Shane on the play now.
with a much better hand.
Yes,
Bunch
looks
of removal
very good.
in this hand. So turn 1 Battlefield Forge. He has Glare of Heresy. He has Crackling Doom. So Noah's going to scry off a Temple of Silence and Snap Keep it on top.
Noah looks like he's got some good stuff too. Some 2-drops in there.
Yeah, I assume Noah's just he's got a bunch of lands. I assume he's just shipping lands to the bottom here and destroying threats.
That's a good draw.
1 threat.
Drew a Siege Rhino.
So a pretty good one.
Yeah, can't be mad at that.
Oh, definitely not.
Taking his time
Dr.
here.
Siege. Gonna play a Mana Confluence, take a
break.
Pain, and cast the Fleecemane Lion. So this lines up pretty nicely with Shane's Glare of Heresy, but Shane probably has other options, better options. I think Glare of Heresy is probably better suited to take out Siege Rhinos and other stuff like that.
Yeah, the Crackling Doom is a good play there.
Yeah, gonna fire off Crackling Doom. No, we're gonna untap. Draw an Abzan Charm.
This is looking to turn out to be more like Game 1 now, where Shane has a handful of answers that he can use to clip Noah's early game, and then probably provide a little pressure of his own later on.
Yeah, but in this case, Noah, didn't mulligan to 5. So, and plus he has like Abzan Charm and stuff to get back in the game. So like to get ahead on card advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So, Death Dealer, like I said, still a good card in this matchup. Shane doesn't have too many outs to it. So Noah's going to battle in for 2. I assume he's just going to cast a Siege Rhino here because that card is nuts.
Yep.
Take a damage, go to 15, go up to 18.
Yes, sir. Once Siege Rhino triggers.
Yep, Dr. Siege Rhino. So I think the correct play for Shane is to, well, does he have double black? He does, or is that, no, he did not have double black, so he couldn't Hero's Downfall. I think I would have Hero's Downfall if I could have, the Death Dealer, and then untapped and then glared the other guy. Oh, thank you. So Noah's at 18.
Yep.
Shane down to 14. So Shane did have double black because of Urborg. That card is just super confusing. Makes things really difficult.
It makes things really difficult, and also if you're the person playing it, you have to realize you're turning on your opponent's spells.
Sure, yeah. Now we're going to play a Death Dealer here. He's going to need to take a damage from that one. He using that Mana Confluence for green mana. Noah's hand, not that great right now. He only has this one source of green mana. Interesting that he played that, so he's keeping up. He's representing Hero's Downfall here. So Shane, I think, drew an Utter End, which, like I said, good answer to
very good
Death
answer
Dealer here. But he's just going to downfall it, which, with no green mana up, downfall is also a suitable answer to that card.
Cannot regenerate.
There's a green source.
It's a temple.
So he's going to scry. I think that's a creature. Going to keep the creature on top and probably see if he runs out another threat. He's going to run out the other Death Dealer.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully Shane has, for Noah, no non-exile removal. So Shane's going to Crackling
That's
Doom.
Crackling Doom. Oh, boy.
I'm going to go to 14.
And this is, once again, the same kind of play that we saw Game 1. Yep. Just removal after removal. What makes Shane's decks powerful against, this type of aggro.
Yeah, and I think in this situation from Noah, I would like to just kind of sit back. Shane's not doing anything, so... Yeah. I'm not being pressured. I kind of just firing off Abzan Charms, and that's typically what I see Noah do. But right now he's just playing into Shane's giant hand of removal.
Well, Game 1 he did not fire off the Abzan Charm either to draw cards when he had the ability to on the mulligan.
Yeah.
So it was a really strange play.
I'm just gonna ship this to the bottom, and I think he's probably. I can't imagine he's gonna cast this Abzan Charm main phase, but it looks like he is. Which might punish him here because Shane does have a Sarkhan in hand. Noah drew a Hero's Downfall, so now he has 2 downfalls and an Anafenza.
Yep.
But he's still probably going to get nugged here by this Sarkhan. If Shane had an Elspeth here,
it would definitely be dangerous.
Yeah.
So
Shane going to play a Stormbreath Dragon, which essentially is
Sarkhan.
Yeah.
Sarkhan in creature form.
Yeah,
so
there's a pretty decent one. So Noah draws an Elspeth. I imagine he's just going to cast Anafenza here with Downfall mana up. See if he can get... Okay, he's going to Downfall.
Yep.
Downfall into Anafenza, which I like. I don't like casting the Elspeth there and minusing. It just runs into another dragon.
We know the Sarkhan's coming, though.
Yeah, Sarkhan's coming in. Sarkhan's going to get value. So he's going to Utter End. Maybe he doesn't have a Sarkhan in hand. I think if I had a Sarkhan in hand, I would have cast it there.
Yeah.
And then minus and got value out of it.
So maybe the Stormbreath was the Sarkhan that we were saying is possible.
Yeah, it's possible. So Noah's going to cast an Elspeth here, which is pretty good against Shane's one card in hand. So this is where, like, drawing the cards of the Azan Charm is good, and something that Shane's deck is kind of light on as a control deck. So he did have the Sarkin.
Wow, okay.
He had the Sarkin.
So he chose to
utter and...
Did he just attack Elspeth?
He did just attack Elspeth. He attacked Elspeth. Is Noah at 7?
Noah is at 7.
Okay, so Shane is going to attack Elspeth.
There's a Murderous Cut in Noah's hand, but also Downfall.
Yeah, just a Downfall.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think if Shane would have just used the... Yeah, if Shane uses the Sarkin to kill the Anafenza, then we're in a much better spot because we still have the Utter End to take care of this Elspeth. So now we're both just kind of drawing off the top of the deck because Noah has Murderous Cut in his deck against our,
any 4-creature deck. Our 4-creature deck. So we see the end hostilities from Shane to wipe out the Elspeth tokens, but he has no follow-up here to kill the Elspeth.
Right. And this card is just going to run away with the game. Shane needs 2 cards, but Shane just is like a control deck without any way to gain card advantage.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of predicated on using his Planeswalkers as his card advantage, which, I mean, is understandable, but I could go for some, like, Read the Bones in this deck.
I could see that as definitely a better sideboard choice than Whip of Erebos, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, most definitely.
Shane's going to keep this card on top off of Scry. Noah draws a Fleece mainline for a turn, battles in for 3, pluses his Elspeth, puts it at 4 counters, I think, now.
I believe so. And we'll see the Fleece main. So this
follow up with a Fleece mainline that threatens to go monstrous here, so...
Did Shane put another... that's an Anger of the Gods.
That's an Anger of the Gods.
Sure.
Which, not that great. Noah's going to get a 4/4. Going to lose all his tokens, so I guess Shane doesn't die next turn, but Shane essentially has no outs here. Let's see. If Shane drew a Fated Retribution, he'd still die. Is there anything that exiles every permanent?
Boy. At this point, I don't think it matters. I don't know what Shane's going to rip off the top, but it can't be anything that deals with this board state.
So that would have been good had Shane attacked Noah, but then he would have just died to the Elspeth.
Very true. Very true. Wow. So Noah Cohen takes the game there 2-1.
And 5-0's this FNM.
5-0's the FNM off the back of Abzan Aggro.
Yep, the last standard before FNM.
Yeah, before Fate Reforged pre-release tonight at midnight. Oh,
and
man.
Just in general, there will be no more Khans of Tarkir standard.
Nope.
Rest in peace, Khans of Tarkir standard. Ye were awesome.
We get a brand new format to kind of try some cards out in. Yep. It'll definitely be interesting to see what deck's going to come out on top after some of the newer cards are released. I've seen some spicy lists online. People are trying to brew up some new stuff. So it'll be pretty cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully the cards make an impact. Hopefully nothing gets too oppressive.
Yeah.
Maybe take Siege Rhino down a peg because that card is kind of insane. But I don't foresee anything in this set that looks like it's going to take Siege Rhino down a peg, unless it's Valorous Stance out of the heroic deck.
I do, in fact, like the additional counterspell that Blue has supplied. I'm okay with that.
Which one is that?
That is the Neutralizing Blast, blue 1 counter-target multicolored spell.
Yeah, another situational. Just reprint counterspell. Come on, it wouldn't be that good. It would be ridiculous. Fine.
It would be amazing if they did. I also enjoy the almost probably not payable one, the Rakshasa's Disdain, 1 blue, 2 colorless instant. Counter-target spell unless its controller pays 1 for each card in your graveyard.
Oh, the card that's worse than cancel, sure.
Yeah, it's almost... Right. Do you remember the one from, I believe, Onslaught Block that makes them pay 1 for each wizard you control? Ixidor's Will? It is that card.
Well, it's a little better than
It's actually better than Ixidor's Will, which is very surprising. I mean... I just have to imagine maybe Wizards was tired of control for a little bit and decided that they wanted to back away from it.
I don't understand how Rakshasa's Disdain is even a card. Like, it's just straight up worse than cancel.
It is.
Like, I can play cancel for 3 mana.
I mean, you still actually have Dissipate in the format out of M15.
And you have cancel!
Yeah.
You still have cancel!
So there's a lot of stuff you have. I mean, it's... Though, granted, Blue did get the limited removal bomb in Reality Shift. I mean... That card's...
Hey, I don't know how...
Are you not a reality shift
fan? I'm not a reality shift fan, all right?
Geez.
Hear me out, man.
All right, tell me about how you don't like reality shift.
If we're playing limited,
okay,
for instance, yeah, we get to exile their best creature, but they still get a creature.
Very true. Yep.
You know? Especially a creature that could turn into another creature, like an actually good creature.
Okay.
And then in Constructed, I'm just not a fan because we're, like, casting Reality Shift as, like, a removal spell, but then my opponent is still, like, getting a creature, so they're not really getting anywhere.
Still
so
getting a 2/2 creature?
I'm essentially, like, discarding a card to get rid of a good creature.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really sweet against Courser of Crewfix, actually, though. If you, like, hey, my opponent has a really...
sweet...
Oh, there's Nissa on top, and I'm playing a control deck. I don't foresee it being played in a control deck, though, so...
So here's what I like about the card.
I think it has potential, though.
To go along with your Courser theory, I like this card if I see my opponent scry and very happily put the card back on top. I'm hoping I have this in my hand to just rob them of whatever card they get.
Unless it's so situational there, though, because like if your opponent is looking for creatures and then you're like, I got him, and then you do it and he's like, okay, well, I'll manifest this creature and then I will then untap and cast this creature. Essentially,
definitely.
You just did nothing.
Yeah, it's true.
You just discarded a card and spent 2 mana
to exile a threat that may or may not have killed you.
We'll see. I think it has potential. And you know, if I get some in my pre-release box and I'm tomorrow and I wind up playing blue, you know, maybe I'll try it out. So
how do you feel about Brutal Horde Chief?
I think it's sweet. I don't think it's Hellrider, but if it had haste, it would be Hellrider. I know if it was, if it had haste and would be able to ping, it would be Hellrider.
Yes.
But I think those are the downsides of the cards. It's like it doesn't have haste, and it's not able to put damage into Planeswalkers, which is kind of a downside.
Okay.
But I still think it's sweet. It's a warrior, so that's good too. It's a nice way to top out that Black-White Warriors curve.
They definitely bolstered the ranks of the Warriors this upcoming set. I mean, there are a lot of Warrior cards coming out for people who wanted to see either a Black-Red Warriors list or a Mardu Warriors list. There's a lot of cards.
For sure.
I mean, there's a ton of stuff they could cast. This guy is a guy who I've actually like. The Mardu Strike Leader is a card I like.
Yeah, I like Mardu Strike Leader too.
That's a value card
for sure. I would not mind opening that.
Yeah,
although I don't know. I'm not gonna say what I mean. I want to stay as far away from red, green, and black
as you can.
Yeah,
you don't want to be a Jund player.
Man,
huh?
some of those. Some of the uncommons in black are just like, what were they thinking? These are awful in limited. They're just real bad.
Somebody was trying to convince me on this guy.
Oh, today. I'm sold on that guy. Look at that body, dude. He's a 4/5.
He's a 4/5 that you can delve for. This is Tasigur the Golden Fang.
Yeah.
So I'm not sold on his ability in limited. That's my thing.
Oh, unlimited? I'm talking about constructed.
That you want to play him in constructed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Block Siege Rhino and gains you cards.
Sure.
Cards.
Sure. Why not?
Plus, it comes down on turn. You can cast it on turn 3. You don't want a 4/5 on turn 3.
I'll tell you, I do like in the same areas as Brutal Horde Chief. I like the idea of these legendaries, these really low cost legendaries. So I know Blue has. Oh, where is he? He's the pump guy that gives everybody.
Gives a creature.
Yes. Oh yeah, there he is. Shuyun the Silent Tempest.
Yeah.
The 3/2 prowess that gives a guy double strike. I'd play that guy in limited too. That's a.
Oh yeah, I'd play that card in limited.
I mean, he's beastly.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when you have so many cards that you have. I mean, like you have this refocus in limited now. There, you're like, sure, I'll trigger his prowess.
Yeah, I think
I'll tap your blocker, draw a card.
I think Shuyun is similar to the 3/3 double striker. I don't remember.
Oh, Dragon Twins.
Dragon Edge Twins or whatever. I think he's similar to that card, but he's better. Because he doesn't cost 5 mana.
I think the reason, I mean, the Dragon Edge Twins were just so powerful because of the other cards you had at the time. Like if they ever went unblocked.
Yes, if you ever got to attack with your 3/3 double striker with prowess, my opponent was probably dead if they didn't block.
Very true. Oh, well, we can't. What do you think about this card? What do you think about the Temporal Trespass? Is it the next Delve Bomb?
It's not the next Delve Bomb.
No?
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
I think it's too mana restrictive to do that.
Sure.
And I think in most situations, I actually rather draw 3 cards than taking an extra turn. Like I get to draw 1 card and I guess attack again and play a land.
Okay.
So, but the cards I actually really like are the enchantments that manifest a card and then get attached to them. I just wish they were auras initially, because then you could search them up with Heliod's Pilgrim, and we'd be in business.
Sure,
baby.
then you'd be cooking with fire. Oh man, then
Heliod's Pilgrim would be able to tutor up a creature. Now we're talking.
Now you're doing it. That's true. They're definitely interesting cards. How do you feel about the sieges?
I think some of them are pretty cool.
I
think they're actually really good in limited, except for the green one, which I don't think is that great.
Really?
Yeah. I think the green one is good in constructed, in that you just are able to ramp like crazy and then like I will play Hornet Queen and kill all of your things.
I think there's something interesting to note about the green one. If you're looking at Frontier Siege, if you pick cons, it says at the beginning of each of your main phases, add 2 green to your mana pool. You get 2 green on your first main phase, and then an additional 2 green mana on your second main phase. So this card is allowing you to run out things either pre-combat, post-combat. It's just fueling essentially large, beefy green draft decks.
Yep.
Like I'm gonna play big green bombs the deck.
But in limited, I don't know. For instance, like the dragons, I can't imagine seeing that ever. Like how many flying creatures are there in a green deck in this format? Can't think of very many. And then I don't know. The cons part could be decent.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm playing a 4-mana enchantment so that I can ramp.
To ramp in, well, maybe not in limited. In constructed, it could. Yeah, in constructed, it could definitely see some play. I think black definitely got hosed. Probably the worst as far as the sieges goes.
Dude, this siege in limited is insane. It's stab wound.
Yes, it's stab wound for dragons. They also have what appears to be the most expensive.
Who cares? You get stab wound that drains your opponent. How do you lose with this card in play? You don't.
So once again, we're back to the point where we're relying on enchantments, where before we were saying if we were relying on the enchantments train, that wasn't the way to go.
No, man, I'm all about this.
So you're all about
build a control deck with this as your win condition?
This is it?
Play, like, the Valorous, the wall, the 0-4 wall, play a bunch of archers, parapets, just like, I'll play Palace Siege. Come at me, attack me.
Do you play the 0-7 wall that taps down a creature?
I play every wall I can.
You play every wall you can find.
I just pray my opponent didn't draft Naturalize, Erase, or...
Prowler's Helm.
Prowler's Helm isn't in this format. That was last format. That card, man, no.
Oh, boy. All right, well, for everybody who's going out to a pre-release tonight, make sure you have fun. Enjoy. Draft whatever you feel like's fun. Look at all the cards.
Yeah, just that's the main goal of the pre-release. Is just have fun. Don't try to be well, I guess if you want to be a spike and, pick what you think is the best and crush people, then
that's true.
If that's what you find fun,
have a good time.
That's typically what I find fun. But this pre-release, I'm just going to try to lay back and have some fun.
And have a good time. All right, everybody. Well, as always, I'm your host, Andrew Donnelly, with my co-host,
The Good Doctor.
We're going to be signing off for tonight. Be safe. Enjoy the pre-release. Order some singles online. We'll talk to you later.